The co-chair of the Fiji Museum, the director of the Fiji Museum, and curator of the Veiqia Project, Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Jalila Kumar, invited guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Happy International Women's Day to you all. I was commenting just outside when I was having a chat with Tarisi and Mr. Nemani that I went to a few functions today to mark International Women's Day. And this is such an exciting way to end the night, an exhibition of women, of Fijian women. It's an honor to be addressing you as we gather to mark the launch of an exhibition on the evening of International Women's Day. What makes this launch very appropriate for today is that the exhibition, as Tarisi says, is about women and it's curated by women. It gives Fijian female artists an opportunity to show their works of art under the Veiqia Project. Tarisi, I'm also one of those people who didn't know what Veiqia was until yesterday. It also gives us all an opportunity to look back in appreciation at the traditional art of Veiqia, or tattooing, which used to be practiced by Tauke women in the olden days. Traditional knowledge, vernacular, and folklore together make up unique cultures and traditions. In Fiji, these unique cultures and traditions have in some instances lost their relevance in modern day settings. It is exhibitions like this which in some way contribute to the revival of those traditions and cultures which are so important in identifying where we come from as an individual. And therein lies another important role of the woman as a custodian of traditional knowledge and art. I must therefore congratulate the Veiqia Project and the Fiji Museum, together with all collaborating artists for this initiative of bringing back into focus the traditional art of Veiqia in Fiji. The culture of tattooing is not new at all to the Pacific. In the last 25 years or so, the popularity of tattoos has exploded worldwide. In fact, today it's almost a rarity to see unmarked skin. But the ancient art of body inking actually has been around for quite a long time in our region. Many of us may know that the word tattoo derives from the Samoan word tatau, which means to strike in. Inspired by the tribal tattoos, the sailors on Captain James Cook's voyages to the South Pacific revived the art of needling the skin, making it a global art for the embellishment of the skin. The reason why this traditional art is even more important to celebrate is because in Fiji, women were the tattoo artists, known as Ndombati, and recipients of revered Fijian tattoos, known as Veiqia. Ndombati have been described as hereditary priestesses. Girls were tattooed at puberty. The ceremony initiated them as women and signified the eligibility for marriage. The art of Veiqia in itself is very symbolic evidence of the strength, resilience, resourcefulness, and creativity of women. Through this Veiqia project, women artists are being empowered to not only contribute to the revival of traditional knowledge and art, but also to use their art as a means of improving their livelihoods and those of their families. And the uniqueness of this use of traditional knowledge as a means of improving livelihoods is that no formal qualification is needed. All it needs is the God-given talents we have and our commitment. In Fiji, we have very fine examples of these traditional art forms being used by women of different geographic locations as a means of economic empowerment to improve their livelihoods, including the Masi of Batulele and Natewa. I'll keep mentioning Natewa because that's where I come from. The earthen artifacts of Nandrunga, the Iri of Ndaku, the Kuta of Mbua, and the list goes on. Traditional art forms which have stamped their place in today's market economy, thus keeping alive traditional knowledge whilst at the same time economically empowering those women who apply it. The Fijian government has remained committed over the years to coordinate the safeguarding, preservation, protection, and promotion of Fiji's rich cultural diversity, its multifaceted art forms, and the unique heritage that engulfs our beautiful shores. A special department in the form of the Department of Heritage and Arts has been established for this very purpose with a budgetary allocation, programs, and policy support. My ministry also plays a role in encouraging the revival of traditional knowledge and art as a means of improving livelihoods for our Fijian women. We do this through the holding of divisional craft shows throughout Fiji, where skillful women are identified and assisted through expert advice from the Fiji Arts Council with the aim of polishing the traditional artifacts for exposure and sale at the annual National Women's Expo, which this year will be held at the Vodafone Arena from the 14th to 16th June. On this platform, we're able to license some of these traditional artifacts as Fijian made. Therefore, it is with great pleasure that I sanction the support of my ministry towards this exhibition and the Veiqia Project to tell the world the story of not only the uniquely and highly skilled Itauke women in history who preserved and practiced a traditional art form in Itauke culture, but also those women artists taking part in this exhibition who portray the creativity of women and their role in improving livelihoods in society as a whole. With these words, I wish all the artists and the curators involved with the project and the exhibition and the Fiji Museum the very best, and hope that the visual art feast that is before us tonight will be a trendsetter for similar initiatives in the future. Vuniwaqa.
Books and journals and archival materials.
There's no exact dates. It's like it's gone.
It's gone.
Vedi, sono strumenti una volta, adesso quando mamma ha fatto i tatuaggi ha visto che li faceva con quella machine, prima invece li facevano